Europa Way presenta. Ladies and gentlemen, fans of Gali Lucha Libre, we are opening up this intermission today with one of the greatest of Gali Lucha Libre. Man, we've been after this wrestler for a long time. And finally, the planets align. We have him here, Mr. Harris, Death Proof. How you doing? Good to see you.
Tico, what's going on tonight, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, after it, we have to go through agents, we have to go through interviews, we have to go through permission.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm not
to
that
get you
Hollywood.
to get you on. So, but I mean, I'm so glad. I'm so tickled pink to have you on, Jay.
I
It's
am not
it's
that.
it's it. I'm
I,
beside myself. I'm coming out of my skin, as you can tell, with my excitement. Now, let's get right into the nitty gritty. The
let's
last
do it.
time I had the pleasure to interview you, that your victory, I think it was Leon, I forget,
Nah,
Leon de Oro.
Leon Norris. Yep.
Leon de Oro. After your victory with him, I was interviewing you and getting your thoughts. And you said something that obviously in that interview I was not able to expand, but we can do that now. That really caught my ear and my attention. You say you got popped and that he had to do better than that. Could you please go into detail what you meant?
Yeah. I think after the match, I expressed to the crowd that Leon had to come a little bit harder than when he came. 2 years ago, I suffered 4 gunshots working at a nightclub. And it took me a year of recovery. I got shot in my femur artery, my left leg, and three in the shoulder. I needed learned how to walk again. I learned how to run again. It was a very humble time in my life, um, and it challenged me to whatever comes your way, you can overcome it. So that's where the name DEATHPROOF comes in at.
I see. That was my next question. You read my mind. And this happened a couple of years ago in Wicker Park, right? You want to go? We're going to be playing. We're going to be playing here on the third screen. The news release when it happened from a local channel here. So if you want to go into detail a little bit, and then we'll get off. We'll jump off that train and get on with our wrestling interview. How
Okay.
did it happen? It happened in Wicker Park, right?
Yeah, it happened in Wicker Park. I think it was on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and it just, I felt something that night. I felt something weird that night, and it was just bad vibes. So you felt the energy was in the air that night, and it just, sometimes you go through certain things in life to learn and see how strong your faith is. And that night, my faith was tested.
Indeed. And here you are. Thank God.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Tico. It's a pleasure being on here.
Let's jump. Let's get up. Let's get off for that. And thank you for reliving that ugly episode of your life,
Yeah,
that nightmare. Thank
yeah.
God you came through, and
Yeah,
you did express how you had to relearn everything, motor skills, and everything else. Which
yeah.
brings me
Everything.
to the next point. To brings me to the next point. Some people might say, but how big is Jay Harris? How big is Death Proof? He is big. He is big. Let me tell you, I've been there calling his matches, and he is big, and he has an agility that God Almighty. I mean, you bounce like a cat, like a feline.
Hey,
I
Tico,
mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know how else to put it.
hey, Tico, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate it with all the kind words, man. It just, I don't know, man. I played football in high school, played baseball throughout my life. I was a first baseman. You had to be quick on your feet. You know what I'm saying? You had to get to the bag, quick as possible. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, I think that's where some of my, I always was an athletic kid growing up. And I grew up. I didn't grow up in one of the safest neighborhoods in Chicago, and I had choices and I had decisions. I could have been selling drugs on the street, but I chose a different route. I wanted to play sports. I love wrestling. And I think, by me playing sports throughout my life, it developed me to have certain skills with my feet. And, God blessed me with quick feet.
Now, getting back to that baseball on the first base, did you have to do a split to catch the ball
Oh man, I wasn't
from
doing no
wherever?
splits, man. I was just digging them up. I was just digging them up. I wasn't the
Just
Mark
scooping them
Grace
up from
yet.
the dirt.
I wasn't the Mark Grace yet.
I had to ask. I had to ask. I had to
Yeah,
ask because a lot of those first basemen you see 'em doing the split of wherever the ball is coming from, and the running, it's just like
yeah,
bearing down the line. But okay,
yeah,
I had to
yeah.
ask. I had how did the wrestling passion developed? Where did it come from?
Came from family, man. It came from sitting with my grandparents watching wrestling on Saturday nights. It came from coming home from school on Monday nights, sitting with my grandfather, finishing homework, sitting with my grandfather at 7 o'clock at night, ready to watch Monday Night Nitro and Monday Night Raw. And just the anticipation that Sunday, like, oh, tomorrow's Monday, tomorrow's wrestling, and it just developed. And, I remember, my grandmother dancing in the living room to Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire when Dusty would get in the ring, and he would dance and he would have the crowd, dancing with him. My grandmother would get up and dance right with Dusty and Sapphire. I remember Ric Flair taking a chop or chopping, and my grandfather would be in his bed just jumping, just like he was Flair or somebody. And I remember just play
Woo!
wrestling with my brother in the living room. Woo! Just play wrestling in the living room with my brother, breaking shit, and my mother getting mad and putting us on punishment. Um, I think at the age,
Did the furniture? I guess the furniture got moved around a little bit, huh?
oh yeah, the belt did too.
I mean, three people, including Grandpa.
Yep.
Did Grandpa get in the action too?
No, Grandpa didn't get in no action. He just sat on the sideline and watched.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I could just see it. I could- oh man, I could just see it. What were the wrestlers that you saw in that Monday night that you said, wow, 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 wow? You mentioned Ric Flair. You mentioned
Man, Rick,
American Dusty Rhodes.
it it
Who else?
it it, 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 it was between the time I was growing up, it was Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Uh,
Shawn
just
Michaels.
yeah,
A
just
heart
just
stopping.
watching them. Yeah, just watching them perform in the ring, and just this, and really just I go back just watching Ray and Eddie tear it up in the ring. I'm talking about 95, 96, 97. because my grandfather passed away in '97. But I just remember them guys used to always tear it up. And every night, they always they gave it a all, And I always knew that, oh man, look at Eddie doing the frog splash. Like, oh, I can't do that, you know what I'm saying? But it just looked good, you know what I'm saying? And just seeing, Ray move around the ring like that, you know what I'm saying? It was just eye candy, It was just eye candy to the fans. I was really,
What
I
was
was really
his
a big.
saying?
Who? I didn't hear you, Chico. What you
Eddie
say?
Guerrero, Eddie
Oh,
Guerrero, he used to say, "The lie, the cheat, the steal." He had a
yeah, I
song too.
lie. Yeah, I lie. I cheat, and I steal. I
Man, he was an entertainer. God rest his soul.
yeah,
He was an
yeah, yeah,
entertainer. Oh my
yeah.
dear Lord! Speaking of entertainers, we have, ladies and gentlemen, in today's Gali intermission, none other than Death Proof Jay Harris. And again, I'll reiterate that it's a truly a pleasure and a blessing for us to have you on, talking wrestling and talking other parts of how you are, who you are up to now. Now, how do you see, now that you had been in the lucha libre world and you got that taste, that the aroma, let's say, of Gali Lucha Libre? Could you share some of those thoughts with us?
Oh man, I see the guys in Galley. They tearing it up with their lucha libre, and I'm like, man, like I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to do run into the ropes and do headstands and jump on this rope a certain type of way and roll this certain type of way and dive this certain type of way. Lucha Libre right now is just, I say this all the time that I think every wrestler should learn some type of style, and I think Lucha Libre should be one of their styles. It just, it's just like I told you, it's just like eye candy. Everybody wants to see that move and that flip and that dive. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm like, well, I want to learn how to do some lucha libre right now, and it just help me with my repertoire and make me an advanced wrestler to work with different people with different styles.
Well, Jay, you are not far. You haven't much. You haven't got that much to learn because you already command respect in the ring. Your feline moves in the ring. So all you have to do is maybe 2 or 3 moves off the third rope, and then you're it. I'll be there to call it. I'll be there to call it.
I appreciate it. I'll point directly to you. I'll point
Much
directly
respect to
Chico.
you. Oh, please do. You got my number. You got my email. Oh, please. I mean, you're on. That's why I'm saying it here in this intermission, so people can know. And are you kidding? Just give me that microphone and a camera, and then put Jay Harris in the ring. Death Proof. Jesus Christ is on.
Yeah,
Mr. Jay Harris.
I'm gonna put
Mr.
you
Jay
to work,
Harris,
Chico.
Death Proof. Mr. Jay Harris, Death Proof. Much respect to you, brother. My admiration to you and what you've been, where you've gone, and much success. And I want to thank you again. Thank you. Muchas gracias for coming on to this intermission of Gali Lucha Libre. We'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.
Yes, you will. Yep.